Hello everybody, this is Danny Aykroyd, and I'm here to bring you Half-Life 2, Episode 2, which is a game about conspiracies, aliens. It's a game about fighting for the future of Crystal Head Vodka, which I now have in my possession. I do. I got it. Finally. I'm gonna do a live taste test, but not now. Not now. I'll tell you about it. So, gonna play some Half-Life 2, and then I'm going to go into Final Fantasy 9. I don't think there's that much Half-Life 2 left, but we'll see. Okay, we're getting a little bit of, crust here, but it should be fine in a moment. Anyway, welcome to the stream, everybody. How big is the bottle? It's about the size of a human skull. Vinny, isn't drinking on stream against Twitch TOS? That's a weird gray area that I'd love if Twitch could clarify at some point. I think it's you gotta be drunk for them to fuck with you. You can't be wasted. Like, you know, you can have like a glass of whiskey, you can maybe have a beer, but I don't really know. That rule is really, really nebulous. Nebulous. Good word, Vinny. Danny Aykroyd loves the word. You can't be super drunk or drink for donations. Well, I like to unwind sometimes at the end of the night. It's rare. I'm not a really big drinker. Like yesterday, I had maybe 2 shots worth of that not whiskey, and it was good. It was just it was a way to like kind of relax a little bit, but I didn't even finish drinking it. You know what I mean? I know, 2 full shots. I know, I'm going mental. I'm going mental. Anyway, welcome to the stream. Let's see how crusty this is before I start. We got some smoothness. How smooth are we? We're looking pretty smooth right about now. I think one of my options got changed here. Hang on a minute. Smooth as Crystal Skull Vodka. It's not even called Crystal Skull Vodka. I don't think they could call it that. They call it Crystal Head. I have nothing to compare this to because I don't really drink a lot of vodka, if ever, and I usually mix it with something, so I'm just gonna end up saying it tastes like rubbing alcohol. And that'll be my... You know, how is it compared to rubbing alcohol? Speaking of alcohol... Boy, do I have a story for you. So... I'm gonna say this. Let's start with this. Today I had a busy day, which was good. I needed a busy day. I had the studio day off. So I went and did some stuff. You know, I saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And I liked it. And I'll talk about it in a bit. But I also, my friend Charlie bought the fucking Crystal Head Vodka, so I ended up buying him dinner and the ticket for the movie. But, yeah, there's some Captain Falcon moments in that, let me tell you. But they were, like, dirty. Oh, fuck. Oh. Alright, fine. So let's start with this. Let's start with this. The movie was very enjoyable. It was very Quentin Tarantino. It's probably not my favorite of his movies, but I am glad I saw it. Great fucking performances. Really bizarre moments. It's a movie about acting. And it's good, and there's some stuff I don't want to spoil, but let's just say I really enjoyed the end of the movie for the catharsis of... You know, when you have a movie that has villains that you just really hate? Alright, so that's all I'll say. But I really, I like that. I like that part of it. I liked Brad Pitt and Leo, they were both great. Margot Robbie, all of them were good. All the actors were good in the movie. Some weird fucking feet scenes. Like, just dirty feet. Like, I don't want to see that, dude. Fucking stop. So I guess I wasn't kidding when I was making the Quentin Tarantino, like, crystal foot vodka. Okay. Like, I wish that wasn't a bit that I had to fucking do, but... I mean, again, it wasn't like story feet. It was just, you know, that was what was in the movie. But after doing my bits about it, I couldn't help but notice it. I couldn't help but notice it, and it was just distracting, and I laughed several times. It wasn't, like, gross, it was just fucking funny. At this point, it was just really... Ugh, God. Alright, so that was that, but don't let that ruin it for you, because we're talking, like, several seconds. The movie itself was really fucking well made, really nostalgic, and... nostalgic in the sense of, like, old movies. And, some really funny moments. And also some good historical context, but I just really enjoyed the movie a lot. Very boring for some people, I could imagine. It's not a very action-heavy movie by any means. Funny moments #1! Vinny, have you seen the Hack Fraud's take on it? What you need to understand is this. I like to watch, the best of the worst. Rather, half in the bag for movies that I'm not going to see, or movies that I've seen. So I started it, I watched a couple minutes of it, and then I said, you know what, I really want to see this movie, I don't want it spoiled. So, I haven't finished it quite yet. But I did enjoy the movie, and boy, what fucking amazing action, not action, but like some good action, but really good set pieces, really good tension, great dialogue, good script. Yeah. I still haven't seen 2 Tarantino movies, which is Jackie Brown and Hateful Eight. Vinny, there's a new re-release of... I can't wait to see those two, but... Vinny, there's a new release of The Shining with an extra scene that was thought to be lost. Okay. I'm interested in this. I might have to see what that scene is. No, it doesn't sound good.
I see an antenna. Huh, I think that's White Forest.
Okay.
Well, we're close enough to make it the rest of the way on foot if we have to.
Such is life, Alex. Zen will be out in the next month or so. They're doing a public beta right now. Well, when I'm done with this, I might want to do, at some point in the future, a mod or two.
White Forest.
Like, some of the best mods for Half-Life 2. Hang on a minute. Gameplay setting. Where's Head Bob? Sorry, some of my options got enabled again.
Sentries are doing their job.
Well, single-player story-based Half-Life 2 mods.
What the hell?
Oh, fuck.
Over here, Gordon. Wait, that sounds like...
Holy shit. Dog. No, dog.
Oh my god.
You got this, dog. Yeah. Oh! Oh! Peel that thorax.
Get clear.
It's not even a thorax.
Dog, dog, are you all right? Wake up, dog. Please.
Dog.
You're all right.
thank God.
You had me worried.
Forgot this. I didn't remember if Dog survived or not.
Everything working all right? Good.
You all right down there?
We're fine.
Is Dog okay?
Better now.
We've been waiting for you. Just follow the stream, then head up the other side. White Forest is right there. You can't miss it.
That John
Alright.
Freeman?
Thanks.
That's him.
Okay, let's go. Come on,
Vinny,
Gordon.
can you explain to me what the fuck is going on with Beck? He's making songs for Lego movies and performing with Taylor Swift. I'm worried.
We'll challenge Doc
The Scientology part didn't worry you more?
Good boy.
I mean, I've always kind of had this caveat about Beck. I enjoy his music. I really like that song he did with Cage the Elephant. I think he's a talented dude, but I also,
Looks like we need your help again.
you know,
Would you mind?
I'm aware that he's got some weird stuff going on. I didn't see the Call of Duty trailer.
Way to go, boy! Okay, Doc. Race you to the base.
I do have an announcement
Step on it, Gordon.
that I am officially going to be streaming on another platform from this point forward. I was bought. They threw a lot of money at me so that I can stream exclusively on a separate streaming platform. And that platform is Fixer. McDonald's started their very own streaming platform. Yeah, I mean, they have one rule, though. You have to dress like the McDonald's clown. What's his name?
This is
Seymour?
it. We made it.
Seymour McDonald, I believe it was, yeah.
Gordon Freeman.
It's a weird thing that's happening, though. I mean,
You won this time, Dog.
now streams are buying exclusivity.
Yo, let him through.
Thanks.
We had a feeling you were close when we saw a dog take off like that.
I was never so glad to see him, believe me.
Vinny, where's the Crystal Head vodka?
Gordon, White Forest. We made it. Safe
did
at
it.
last.
We're safe. I can't believe we're finally safe after all these trials and tribulations. Now, before I go, before I continue, let's do the Crystal Head vodka review. So, I'm opening it. If you don't know what this is, it looks like a crystal skull. And, I don't want to do face cam chat. Come on, you know me. I'm boring. So it looks like a crystal skull. You know that. That's why it's called that. And it's clear. The vodka's in the thing. And the skull is very nicely designed, which is, again, the appeal of this. The fact that it is a skull is why most people would buy it. Just opening up the outer plastic casing. I'm opening up the plastic casing. Fuck. Fuck. It's stuck to the bottom of the thing. Here it is. It's okay, it's out. It's good. I got the skull in my hand. It's weighty. It's got some weight to it. It's a little glass skull. And the cap is like a cork kind of thing. And it smells like rubbing alcohol. What a fucking surprise. Speaking of rubbing alcohol, again, I do have a story. So I'm pouring a little bit. Very, very small amount. And I've got an ice cube in there. And again, I'm not a vodka person. Not even much of an alcohol person. But here's the review. Going in. I don't know what to say. It doesn't taste like skull. It's just kind of... It's fine. I don't know. I mean... Not too unsmooth. My review is it's not too unsmooth, and I have zero comparison aside from mixed drinks that I've had over the time. And I it's fine. You're paying for the packaging. You really are. And boy, what a nice package it is. I will keep this skull for the rest of my week. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's probably a little bit overrated.
Dr. Freeman, you made it.
Hey,
But it is definitely, for vodka, I mean, if you're drinking it straight, it's smoother than I thought it would be. Isn't vodka high in alcohol? Yeah, it's pretty smooth. 40% alcohol by volume? It's fine.
be here.
Yeah, we heard you ran into a little trouble out there. Combine's been trying to hit in the front door. I think they learned their lesson.
You mind if we keep dog patrolling out here?
Not at all. You heard him, dog. I'm gonna go see Dad. I'll catch up to you later. You take care of yourself.
I don't think Eli knows you're here yet. He's in Silo 1 access unit, right through here.
Vinny, I dare you to chug it, LOL. Okay. You weren't here for the discussion of how you get banned on Twitch for drinking, right?
Oh no, what's that?
Now what?
I'm pretty sure this was...
All right, back to work, everyone. It's
What was-
just another false alarm in the secondary silo.
Let's take a walk.
Same old.
So anyway, they
dog
set up this big stuff. They set up this big facility in the middle of the White Forest.
AR-2 before?
AR-2? No. Now, an AR-3, sure. Plenty of times.
There is no such thing as an AR-3.
Well, see, in the city, the place was lousy with AR-3s.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
No, it was. So do you know what the alternative fire method does on the AR-2? It kills hunters. How did you city folk kill hunters?
We sure as hell didn't use guns. We would just wrestle hunters to the ground with our bare hands.
Oh god, come
I
on.
used to kill 10, 20 a day, just using my fists.
Oh, so when you're out in the field, you're gonna be punching hunters?
In the field? I'm not going out in the field. I'm a radio operator.
That's it. Leave. You don't need to be here, and I'm not gonna continue the lesson until you leave.
I'm staying right here.
I am
You're
serious.
cantankerous.
Leave. Not going to continue until you leave.
I mean, I don't know, I would trust this guy. You can take a bullet to the head. I mean, they did a pretty good job setting up a facility out here. Appears to be safe, relatively.
Gordon, man, you made it.
Dad,
Alex.
I was so afraid I wouldn't see you again.
There, sweetheart. We're together now. That's all that matters. And look at you, son. I knew if you both stayed together, you could get through anything.
Yeah? We make a pretty good team.
Yeah, well, that's good because, well, now that the suppression field's
Son.
down, we all have to do our part.
Dad?
Can you blame an old man for wanting grandkids?
Uh-oh. Eli, stop.
What happened to you?
Dad, it's not what it looks like. I'm fine.
Are you sure? Shouldn't we have that looked at?
Really, I'm fine.
You've been
Where's Dr.
stabbed
Kleiner?
through the
We should
chest.
get this data to him right
Yeah,
away.
you're right.
Okay. Yes, we should. He'll be glad for a chance to get out of the silo. This way, Gordon. The way he and Magnuson have been going at it, you'd think they were still competing for grant money.
Some things never change.
Yes, we're just going to look at me now. Yes. Yes, hello.
Do we have any idea how long until the super portal's
We
out?
don't know for certain. We're keeping an eye on it.
And what about the Combine? Will we be able to launch before they attack?
It's gonna be close. All it would take is one Strider to destroy our rocket. But we're ready for it.
Those shadows
Sorry,
still
we
look
couldn't
good.
get here any sooner, Dad.
Don't worry, sweetheart. We're gonna make it. I'm just so glad to have you back.
I'm glad to be back.
Last thing on my mind.
Lamar!
Certificate of approval. Troubles we might have had with the result of staffing and supply deficiencies. And your conjugal parasite away from my nose cone!
Now listen here, Magnuson. There's no call for hurtful comments. Good grief. Eli, why didn't you tell me they'd arrived?
Don't worry, Izzy. They just got
Oh,
here.
Kleiner doing some weird movements. Walking sideways down a ladder, or rather,
A delight to
steps.
see you here at last. And Gordon,
Ram
I see you and the
Lamar.
AGV suit have taken excellent care of each other.
They're inseparable.
The data, people, the data! Kleiner, are you going to sync up the satellite, or should I postpone?
Speaking of
the launch?
cantankerous.
Time for a family reunion.
All right, all right. I was just saying hello to Alex and Gordon.
Oh, fine. No one grants me a moment's peace, but by all means, unroll the red carpet.
Good grief. I only meant they might...
I know.
Oh, never mind him. Now, my dear,
Bosbollocks.
where is this data packet you've been carrying? If I delay a single moment, I'll never hear the end of it.
You have my word on it.
It's right here, Dr. Kleiner. We've got a ton of data. The strange thing is, it was all attached to a transmission from Judith.
Transmission? From Judith?
Do you mean the message didn't get through?
We've got to see this right away.
Just let me start the decoding process, and then we can view it in the auxiliary control room.
For God's sake, hurry.
Yes, of course.
Another alarm?
Oh, what next in the parade of constant interruptions? Hello, is anyone there? Anyone? False alarms all day. Damn crows have been nesting in the tracks. I do not know how I am supposed to concentrate with all of this racket.
This is where you put the gnome, by the
You're
way.
not doing anything. Make yourself useful and find out what the hell is going on in there.
Yes.
Okay.
Gordon,
Lamar is the
if you
first
don't
space
mind,
crab.
I'd feel better if you had a look.
Catch up with us when you're done.
Freeman,
Goodbye, Lamar!
blast
Cannon now.
sealed due to the alert, so you'll have to go through the bottom of the launch tube.
They're all
Open
from
this
space.
hatch to let you down.
Oh, you're right.
Now, once you're down there,
We're sending the gnome home.
let you into the
Or the
secondary silo.
crab. But yeah, you can really taste those diamonds in that Crystal Head
What are you
vodka. What a...
waiting for, Freeman? A hug?
Yes.
The situation's not going to investigate itself.
Please, hug? No? Alright. Stop, citizen! You violated the law! Wait, what am I doing here? I was busy thinking about space crabs. I'm going. So I get in my car today, and it reeks of, like, rubbing alcohol. To the point where I had to open my windows because my eyes were starting to hurt. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? And part of me thinks like, oh, something's going on with my air conditioner or something's going on with the engine. I don't know.
This is Dr. Magnuson. Since the secondary silo staff seem incapable of solving their little crow problem, you will be happy to hear we have put the popular Dr. Freeman on the job. We all look forward to his remedy, and I look forward to hearing the staff's excuses for why they couldn't handle it themselves. Thank you
Popular
for your
Dr. Freeman.
patience.
So I'm like, you know, I drive, windows are open, and I don't notice it anymore. Yeah. I don't notice it anymore. I'm like, wow, that's really weird. What could that have been? So I turn off the car. I'm like, it's probably going to go away. And I'm looking, and I have hand sanitizer in the back, so I figured maybe it's just really hot. The hand sanitizer, you know, got hot. So then I get out, you know, go about my day, eat, and then I look in the trunk later, and I noticed that I had this spray bottle of hand sanitizer. It was like, it was a lot, like your usual like Windex size. All of it was out of the bottle. In my trunk. On the stuff in the trunk. Could you believe it? Good. Vinny, you had a Windex-sized bottle of hand sanitizer. Yeah, for disinfecting purposes. I've not used it in like a year. But I guess through driving it, like, in it being in the trunk, it must have opened somehow over the past year.
Well met.
Vinny, that's not supposed to be hand sanitizer. Well, it was, so now it's... Now my car smells like a fucking...
The secondary silo can be reached through here.
Like the alcohol hand sanitizer? That's what I meant, yeah. The car is sterile. Well, I'm gonna probably have to get it, like, steam cleaned now. So now we know how to, like, if you need to sterilize your trunk, now you know how to do it. Vinny, if that's enough to stank your car, you'll set off breathalyzers.
For God's sake, Freeman, what is taking you so long? Oh, I cannot concentrate with all of this racket. These
What?
fiends are the most persistent I have ever... Wait, what is this?
Well, anyway, I removed the objects that got stained with the alcohol. And, now we wait. Oh my god. Pain, pain, pain! No.
Oh my God. Oh dear. This is a breach. A breach. Attention! Attention personnel! This is Dr. Magnuson. We are experiencing a breach of internal base defenses. Please bear with us while we...
Pain, pain, pain. It's a little overkill, I'd say, for that. I think that was my fault. That was my fault, wasn't it?
Cover me while I reload.
I mean, you know, ammo conservation. Sacrifices must be made. Are they gonna give my car a breathalyzer? Vinny, your PC will have a breathalyzer and you will be unable to stream. Streaming access will be revoked if you don't pass your breathalyzer test in the future. Man, and they have the gall to call it mixer, which is also an alcohol term. I mean, competition's good, even if it is... I don't know, I'm mixed about that, but competition is good, especially for a company that maybe doesn't always feel like they can be held accountable for stuff.
Sorry, Doc.
So... I don't think it's gonna take off. I mean, it's got a better chance now, but... Mixer isn't even good, though. I don't know. I've only ever seen it. Here's my experience with Mixer. Today's news about it, and seeing signs for it at PAX, and being like, what the fuck is this? I've never heard of this before. Why does it have a big sign? Why does it have a massive sign? Where did this come from? So that's pretty much my sole experience with it. There we go. I like how polite that dude was. Gotta use my AR-3. Try, dude. Get that fuck out of here. I like how the turret... That was enough force to kill the Combine soldier. Oh shit. Okay, we're good. Killed. I love these enemies so much. Vinny, do you use hand sanitizer on your computer? What is your questions? Vinny, why do you have so much hand sanitizer? I made like 500 of them for the convention I was most recently at. I click on that dude's name and it's just all hand sanitizer questions. I guess you really want to know. Alright. So, I'm not that much of a germaphobe. I love Germa, he's great. But what I do have is... I get skeeved out. I use the word skeeved. Skeeved out at conventions because I almost always get sick of them. And I've taken extra precaution. Because I found that I don't like to be knocked out of commission for a week after a convention. So the hand sanitizer I had in my car, I don't even remember why I had that big Windex-sized hand sanitizer spray. I don't remember what that was for. I think that was, like, I don't think it was hand sanitizer specifically. I think it was just an alcoholic-based cleaner. Plus I have the Vinesauce hand sanitizer that I just have in my car, just in case. And again, these are good for conventions, because after I shake people's hands, I can use it. Vinny, okay, I will stop asking. I thought I could slip by some dumb questions without being noticed. Well, why wouldn't you want the questions to be noticed? That's why you ask the questions, no? I I don't mind answering them. I was just shocked. I just remember looking at the chat. I was like, oh, this dude's asking lots of hand sanitizer questions.
I will trust you to seal the silo doors.
But I think there's some bullshit or some real shit about how you can lower your immunity if you do lots of hand sanitizer. I just don't know. Because it kills the good bacteria as well. So I really mostly only use it in emergencies. Or again, if I'm at a place where there's like gross. Or like, I don't know, maybe... You'd be surprised, okay, you'd be surprised how many people don't wash their hands after taking a whiz. Or a shiz. So my question to you is, chat, how many of you do not wash your hands after going to the bathroom? I have to do this. I don't know how many people are being truthful.
Freeman, have you heard a word I've been saying?
Just saying, though.
To you to seal the lost door.
It's a lot of people. I hope it's not true. I hope you wash your hands, chat. Good.
Is anyone still alive in there?
Vinny, what Bowie album do you think we should play rating Area 51? That's gotta be Ziggy Stardust's. Because that's about aliens. Well, an alien. A alien. Someone said cons scare the shit out of me, honestly. My sister goes to them all the time. I don't know how she does it. They're very addictive when you go to your first one, because you get to see a lot of people that are like-minded, and it's fun, and the spectacle of it. There's a lot of stuff to look at, do, sometimes. But...
This is Dr. Magnuson.
yeah. But they can be overwhelming, especially for me.
The secondary silo has been sealed.
Gordon,
Back to work.
yes, you're okay. Phew. Glad that's over. We couldn't get in till you sealed off the silo when the blast doors opened up.
Regrettably true.
I better let my dad know you're all right.
I love the science Vortigaunt. Someone said I missed a Vortigaunt in a bathrobe.
Dad?
Yes, Alex. Is everything okay? Is Gordon all right?
Yes, he's fine. And thanks to him, the base is secure.
Fully automatic energy weapon with hypervelocity projectile launcher acquired.
The Freeman must
Japes.
follow. If you would take the Freeman from here, I can return to my place of honor.
AR-3 acquired.
The Magnuson.
Sure thing. Thanks for the help. Dr. Kleiner told me that Judith headed north in a helicopter right after they got here. But he wouldn't tell me why.
Okay. Hang on a minute. Let's take a sip. Vinny, what are you playing right now when you're not streaming? It's still Dragon Quest Builders 2 and Minecraft.
I'm fairly sure I pinned down the location of the project. It's hard to say how much of it might have survived intact or whether there's anything remaining that could compromise our work if it were discovered by the Combine. We'll need to take a close look at it, of course.
Preview of
I
episode
should be
3.
able to give a better opinion within a few hours. If the site is where we think it is, then it should be no more than... I'm gonna cut this short. We may have been spotted.
Should never have let her go.
There was no stopping her.
That's as much episode 3 as we'll ever see officially.
There's something else here. It's the Borealis.
Good God.
Incredible.
What? The Borealis? It's real?
Oh yes, quite real, despite its almost legendary stature.
Now it's extra legendary.
At Aperture Science were at work on a project of some promise. But in their rush to beat Black Mesa for funding, they must have compromised ordinary standards of risk. We heard their research vessel had simply disappeared, vanished, with all hands, and even part of the dry dock. Few believed the Borealis would
Philadelphia
ever
experiment.
be seen again.
It should have been lost forever.
Ah, but now that we've found it, we can use it against the Combine.
Did you use it? That thing has to be destroyed.
But think of the advantage for humanity. We can't simply waste all that potential.
Has Black Mesa taught you anything? There's no controlling that kind of power.
Well, yes. There's always a risk, Eli. But my goodness, we have coordinates, blueprints, hailing frequencies. Quite ingenious of Dr. Mossman to hide it all in the carrier wave.
Well, that means she's still alive up there. But if the Combine catches, they'll tear out everything she knows. There'll be nothing left of her.
But we don't know for sure
I won't
that...
take that chance. I'm going after her.
Now, Eli, the only thing worse than Judith falling into their hands would be if they should get a hold of you. She may know the particulars of the Borealis, but you know everything about the Resistance.
Listen to Dr. Kleiner, Dad. Gordon and I are more than able to handle this. We'll get her back.
Kleiner, where are you? Why isn't the decoding finished?
Oh, fine. The code. Yes, Magnuson.
Well, stanky leg.
A little bit longer.
You're waiting for the Combines. Go ahead. They'll soon be here to give it to you in person.
I'll hurry it along, Magnuson. I'll be back as soon as I finish.
Dad, are you okay?
No, I can't let it happen again. Not a Black Mesa.
Dad, prepare for unforeseen consequences.
What did you say?
Did you see the G-Man?
Okay. It's okay. Just lean into me. Let's get you off your feet.
Thank you, baby. I'll be fine in a minute or two.
Okay. Do you need anything?
Actually, Alex, would you mind getting me a cup of tea? There's a hot plate in the old staff room.
I'll be right back. Gordon, just keep an eye on him.
We're not going anywhere. Thank you, baby.
Yeah, he was on the TV screen. No, I didn't miss him. I just kept my mouth shut. I swear.
The last time I heard those words was back at Black Mesa. You had just stepped into the test chamber when he whispered them in my ear.
Who?
You know who I'm talking about.
Who's the G-Man?
Friend. When he brought in that crystal, I knew
Who is he?
should have aborted that damn test, but I didn't. The whole world went to hell that day. And now he's using my little girl, putting words in her mouth. God damn it. I should have known when he rescued her it was for his own damn reasons.
Should have never progressed past the Stone Age.
Gordon, there's so much I need to tell you. Between us, we may finally have a chance.
Here you go. Is everything alright?
There's nothing, honey.
All right, people, change of plans. There is no way we can launch before those Striders are... Oh, excuse me if I'm interrupting tea time. I'll just step out until you've finished, if that's more convenient.
It's all right, honey.
Well, Freeman, I believe I've found the perfect use for you. Follow me, quickly.
We'll talk later.
I'll catch up with you in a bit.
Why did that happen? Okay, that's fine, I guess. Can we wait. You were gonna say some stuff? You have so much to tell me? Never mind. Here, have this. No. It just rolls right on off. Okay. You.
Freeman, Striders are coming. A single one of those damn things could shoot down our rocket. We don't dare launch until all Striders are destroyed. Now, you've proved yourself capable, and the staff seem to respect you. Therefore, I'm putting defense of White Forest and this ingenious new weapon of mine in your hands.
Ingenious, you say?
The Magnuson device.
Oh.
Not my chosen label, you understand, but it seemed to please the personnel.
Eh.
Now look lively in there. Warm up the delivery port.
Whatever you say.
Now, what it is a sort of sticky bomb, although cleverer than that makes it sound. From your point of view, you merely pitch the device at the Strider's hull, then blow it up. I've struggled with a mechanism for launching the device, but... well, your zero-point energy field manipulator clears up that little problem. Now follow me, and we'll let you get in some practice while we still have time.
You lazy.
Don't be alarmed, Freeman. This Strider's days of impaling your friends are a thing of the past. Now, out in the field, we'll supply you with all the Magnuson devices you need through delivery ports like this one.
For the safety of the base, these devices are deactivated.
I can only hear Kern from Star Trek now.
In the field.
Go ahead and take. That's right. Now toss it to the main. Good. Now take out the firearm of your choice and shoot the device. There you go. Not too difficult at this range, is it? Gets a bit harder when it's moving about and firing at you, of course. Now, let's move on to a more challenging task. Uriah, send the target to the far end of the
Uriah?
rails.
Isn't that a biblical name? What did Uriah do? Oh, Uriah hit the crapper. They named an alien after a Bible man.
Very well. Try it now.
Oh, Eli. Yeah, Eli too.
A bit more challenging at this range, isn't it?
Uriah is one of the 4 archangels. Wasn't John an archangel too? John Angel? Fuck.
As you can see, the Magnusons are fragile. They will disintegrate immediately if they miss their target.
Who's the wrestler angel? We had an archangel wrestler, didn't we?
Magnificent devices.
Kurt Angel.
I'll be right over here when you are.
And then there's Chris Angel, who is a magician. And then there's Jericho, who is named after a biblical town.
Had enough? Your car is fueled and ready to go. Now, every building in the valley has its own dispenser port, so you'll have ample supply of explosives. Now, I must get back to my rocket, Freeman. I'm relying on you not to squander my trust or my magnetism.
Was there splash noise?
Freeman, if you pull this off, I might just forgive you for that debacle at Black Mesa. You know the one I mean, involving a certain microwave.
Can I get a clip of that? Ah! Man, fuck your casserole. I don't even care that I blew up your casserole. Why are you wet? What a wet, moist, greasy man who eats shitty casseroles. Your casserole deserved to be blowed up. I feel like a prime asshole. No one even compliments the casserole.
Dr. Freeman, over here. I'm taking a few liberties with your car. Check it out. I added a rack for Magnuson devices back here. I tweaked your onboard radar so the combines show up red on the dashboard unit now. Plus, it'll send a homing signal to your HEV suit in case you get separated from your car. No need to thank me.
I would.
Check this map.
This isn't John Freeman. This is like Philip
Right here
Freeman.
at the south end of the valley. Rest of the gang's up north by the old sawmill here. Head on up there, and they'll fill you in on the battle plan. I'll be staying here to watch the field and send status updates. Good luck out there.
You're hurting yourself more than you hurt me, Mr. Freeman.
Perimeter's clear. Still no sign of incursion. Keep alert.
Forgot how big this area was. This was very tense. When I see the sawmill, all I can think of is the sawmill in Skyrim, in River
Freeman, have they? Good man.
Wood.
We've counted a dozen Striders just north of us. Our job is to keep them from reaching the base to the south. If they get close enough for one good shot at the silo, the whole launch is a bust.
John?
And in case Striders aren't bad enough,
Brother!
indicates they're being escorted by packs of hunters. Now, what I want you to do...
Attention! North perimeter breach.
All right, people, this is it.
We have a Strider approaching from the crane.
Defensive positions, go! Oh boy, here we go. Everyone ready? Stop.
All right, here we go.
Keep them distracted while Vinny takes them down.
Yo, you mother... Oh, cool, I just went through John Freeman. Excellent. So these are really, these don't stay on very long.
At the sawmill.
What, another one? Yep. Fuck off! They destroyed the sawmill. Wait, is there a way you can do this where it doesn't destroy the sawmill? It's like a TF2 building. You get an achievement for saving all the buildings? Okay, well. Boy, I don't know if that's gonna happen.
Looks like hunters are traveling with the Striders. They're working in packs. Now we have a Strider coming in from the water tower.
On my way! You bastards. I'm not doing very good. I tried to run them over, but it didn't quite happen. Fuck off, Hunter! Let me just load. Bad. Just bad.
They're traveling with the Striders. They're working in packs.
Packs what? East, south, west?
Now we have a Strider coming in from the water tower.
Let's see if I can run them over just right. Good. Good. Okay, the meat is all over the place. I did it. Got food for a week. You can kill them with logs, too? Oh wow, those are big logs.
We'll keep the outposts stocked with help.
Strider coming from the crane.
Power 50%. Power 65%.
Here we go.
Power 80%.
Big log. My favorite Robert Plant song that's not about big logs. Got one. I think. Nope. Good damage. Let's test this out, this log hypothesis. Hell yeah! That's not good. That's not good.
Keep up the good work. Only a few striders left.
Power 80%. Power 95%. Power level.
We'll keep this place stocked with help.
Another strider coming in towards what used to be the sawmill.
What used to be the sawmill. Sorry about that. Laugh it up, fuzzball.
Now we have a strider coming in with the water tower.
Like, give me a chance, dude. Block hunter shots with the log first to get the insta-kill.
A strider has been spotted by the crane.
Can I also use rockets? Well, they're a lot slower. Yep.
Power 60%.
I gotta use G to quick switch. I gotta get into the habit of that. That's right, G. That's what the G-Man stands for. G. Fuck. Hey, asshole! Yeah, pistol! Yeah, use the pistol! Not... well, there's a couple buildings still active. Not very many, but...
Power 15%.
as long as they don't destroy all of them. Vinny, can't wait for you to stream episode 3. Episode 3 is the new Mother 3 of the stream. Soup. Soup.
Another strider from the water tower.
We'll never, ever be able to unhear that. Thanks, Panoots. Yo, what the fuck? Fuck you!
Get ready, everyone.
Oh shit!
Dropship carrying even more striders.
No!
Wait a minute. Get ready, everyone. We've spotted dropships carrying even more striders. So gear up. This is gonna get ugly before it's over.
Okay, I need health. I need another yeet device. Let's go. Where are you dropping them off?
Dropships incoming!
We have a strider coming in from the crate.
All these goddamn logs are in my way.
Now there's one at the sawmill. They're coming from everywhere. Strider spotted at the water tower.
A little bit of an overkill. Fuck. I need Magnuson device. Where?
Heads up, people. We are not done yet. Another strider was just spotted at the sawmill.
Another one.
One more at the crane.
Fuck it, we'll do this one first. No, we won't.
Alert! There's a Strider getting close to the base. They're closing in on the silo. Hold them off.
There we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on! Fuck!
They're not making it! Gotta take those hunters out first!
Whoa, careful there. Fucking careful.
We held them off. Good work, everyone. Attention! Attention!
It's over.
The Striders have been defeated.
Anakin.
All personnel return to base immediately. Repeat. All personnel return to base immediately.
Ow!
Major fracture detected.
Anyway, Strider nuggets. Anyone? I got some nice Lego Strider. Mmm, soup. Strider soup. Vinny, what did you expect? That, pretty much. Yeah. Gordon defeated all of the Striders only to injure himself in a game of toss. And thus, Gordon could never fight again, which is why Episode 3 never came out. Hello, John Freeman. I have done our family proud. This is the only official canon playthrough of Half-Life.
Oh, Gordon.
And the main reason why we don't have another one.
Come on.
And they all live happily after ever. Amen.
Dr. Magnuson sure will be in time to stop it.
Complete. Tracking beacon. Oh, there's another bit of cruft we can ignore. Support equipment powered down. Hold on a moment, Connor.
Ah, Freeman. Well, I see the Magnuson device performed flawlessly. I feel compelled to thank you personally for saving my rocket. So, thank you.
Yep.
Well, that's enough chit-chat.
Yep.
I've got a rocket to launch.
Wow. For a minute there, I thought you were going to get a hug.
Powered and ready.
What is it with this guy and hugs?
Let's go to the control room. We can get a great view of the launch from there.
Did you do that? What's this one? Flight termination system checkmate with backup and safety sites?
Well, here we are again.
Oh shit, here we go again.
While you were out having fun, I found an old helicopter that I was able to get working. I've got it all packed up and ready to go. Never a dull moment, huh?
Wait a moment.
Yeah, I mean, we could just stop the game here, that's fine.
8.5 pounds.
That's within tolerance. Certainly not worth scuttling.
We're back!
At last.
Ah, Gordon. Hell of a job you did out there, son.
Thanks.
Let's not forget.
I'm your son.
With the Magnuson device, those Striders practically destroy themselves.
Yes. Well, I think perhaps Gordon had something to do with their success.
I suggest we adjourn this meeting of the Mutual Admiration Society until after we have launched our rocket. Now, I believe we're ready to start the auto sequence.
I believe Gordon should have the honor.
You'll hear no objection from me.
It's all yours, Gordon.
All right, here we go. No gnomes, but Lamar's in there at least.
Stations, everyone.
Look at this. This is nice graphics, even for 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago now.
Steady on.
T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah!
We did it!
We sure did.
I can't control myself.
Yes!
Fantastic.
Deep breath. Deep breath. Now.
Don't have a cow, man.
It's still too early to celebrate. We need to reach altitude and transmit the signal.
Too right. The clock is ticking.
We couldn't have cut it any closer if that was our intention.
It is going to work, right?
It has to.
Once the rocket is in range of the portal, we'll be able to switch on the xenium resonator.
Well, let's get outside. I'd like a better view of the fireworks.
There should be quite a show. Regrettably, I can't come out with you. Magnuson and I will need to keep a
So yeah, when you resonate the xeniums, there's no more aliens, right? Combine can't get through anymore.
This is wrapped up. I wouldn't dream of letting you go without a proper goodbye.
Okay, I'll hold you to that.
That's the idea.
You too, Dr. Magnuson.
I mean, temporarily, but it'll help. It's nice. It's a good plan until we get to episode 3, of course.
We'll catch up with you in a moment, sweetheart. Gordon, hold up a
Oh,
second.
there you are.
The more I think about that warning from our friend, the more I'm convinced it has to do with Borealis. Don't be deceived. That ship must never be used. You have got to destroy it, whatever the cost.
Where are you two? You're gonna
This
miss
is
it.
just making
You're
me
right
pissed
there,
off
Alex. Gordon, thanks for everything you've done. For Alex, for all of us. I couldn't be prouder if you were my own son. Now,
God
when you
damn
get
it, Valve.
back, we've got a lot to talk about.
Why would you do this to me, Valve?
Gordon, Alex,
Dear
look
God,
at the portal.
This has to work.
We've activated the resonator. This is it.
Oh,
My goodness.
yes.
The portal has been
We
neutralized.
did it. We did it, Gordon.
We sure as hell did, and not a moment too soon.
I bet the Combine aren't too happy right now.
You got that right, sweetheart. But we've got plenty to celebrate. I wish you didn't have to head off so soon. If only it weren't so critical.
It's okay, Dad.
Alright, well, thanks for watching Half-Life 2 Episode 2. And Episode 1 before it, and Half-Life 2 before that. What a nice, happy ending.
We'll find Judith and bring her back. Dog? Hey, where are you? What a nut. Don't go too far.
I'll just
Well, there
stay.
she is.
I'll just stay.
Gassed up and ready to go.
Remember to keep in constant contact. We have no idea what to expect.
We'll just stay out here.
We'll be all right.
I just wish all this didn't have to fall on you, Alex. Your mother would be so proud.
Dad. Come on, Gordon. The chopper's waiting for us.
Are you sure you have everything you need?
I think so. Dr. Kleiner gave us the Borealis coordinates. We'll keep the hailing frequency open on the chopper radio in case Judith tries to reach us again.
Good idea. She could well make another attempt.
Dad! Gordon! Help! Dad!
This is why you let sleeping glubs rye.
Dad! Get away!
Listen to me. Destroy that ship. Whatever it takes. Destroy it.
Don't! Dad, look out! No! Dad! Dad! Let go of him! Oh my God!
I love you, sweetheart. Close your eyes, honey.
I love you, Dad!
Don't look.
No! Oh my God! No! Gordon!
It's just a little bit too late, dog, but also just in time.
Dad! Oh God! Dad! Dad! Dad, please! Dad! Oh my God! No!
Imagine leaving an entire series that's beloved by millions off like this, with no resolution. Don't ask about Half-Life. No wonder people are pissed. This is why people get upset. Because that's a really fucking upsetting ending. And you know, their whole system of the way they work there is so weird, and like nothing gets done because nobody wants to work on the project. It's just a goddamn mess. I don't know. I mean, I don't mean to turn this into a... There's Mark Laidlaw. I don't mean to turn this into a fucking Valve shit-slinging fest, because they've made some of my favorite games of all time, but... I just forgot about how fucked up that ending was. According to Mark Laidlaw, Valve wanted to launch a new episode every 6 months, while he had in mind that the main story was never supposed to have a clear end. Gordon's voice actor left Valve. That's the real story. They just couldn't carry on without him, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna do a slightly extended thing before I continue to the next game. So a couple things I want to do real quick. One, sorry that was the end of the Half-Life 2 streams, because that sucks. That's how we have to end off, but that's how we have to end off. When Black Mesa Source comes out, I'll be streaming it, you know, in full, I should say. And, well, shit. I'm gonna read Epistle 3. I'm gonna do that for you, but first I want to show you something, just to bring the mood back up a little bit. I'm gonna show you something iconic. You know the story of Gordon Freeman, but do you know the story of John Freeman? This is as old as dirt, but I don't care because it's good.
Half-Life. Full of life. Consequences.
It's been years since I've seen this in full. Life. Consequences.
John Freeman, who was Gordon Freeman's brother, was one day in an office typing on a computer. He got an email from his brother that said that aliens and monsters were attacking his place and asked him for help. So he went. John Freeman got his computer shut down and went on the platform to go up to the roof of the building where he left his motorcycle and normal people clothes because he was in his office lab coat. John Freeman got on his motorcycle and said, "It's time for me to live up to my family name and face full life consequences." So he had to go. John Freeman ramped off the building and did a backflip and landed.
Of course he
kept
did.
driving down the road and made sure there was no zombies around because he didn't have weapons. The countrysides were nice, and the plants were singing, and the birds and the sun was almost down from the top of the sky. The mood was set for John Freeman's quest to help his brother where he was.
I love when the guy laughs.
John Freeman looked around the countryside and said, "It's a good day to do what has to be done by me and help my brother to defeat the enemies."
Remember,
John
he's reading a
Freeman was
fan
late,
fiction.
So he had to drive really fast. A cop car was hidden nearby, so when John Freeman went by, the cops came and wanted to give him a ticket. Here John Freeman saw the first monster because the cop was possessed and had head crabs.
He did have
"I
head
can't
crabs.
give you my license, officer," John Freeman said. "Why not?" said the head crab officer back to John Freeman. "Because you are a head crab zombie." So John Freeman shot the officer in the head and drove off thinking, "My brother is in trouble there," and went faster. John Freeman had to go faster like the speed
Went
of sound
real
and
fast
got there
out.
fast because Gordon needed him where he was. John Freeman looked at road signs and saw Raven Home with some on writing under it saying, "You shouldn't come here." So John Freeman almost turned around but heard screaming like Gordon, so he went faster again. John Freeman drove in and did another flip and jumped off his motorbike, and the motorbike took off some head crab zombies in front of John Freeman. John Freeman smiled and walked fast.
Hey, this house is
John
very
then
familiar.
looked on the ground and found weapon, so he picked it up and fired fast at zombie ghosts in front of a house. John Freeman said, "Zombie ghosts, leave this place." And the zombie ghosts said, "But this is our house." And John Freeman felt sorry for them because they couldn't live there anymore because they were zombie ghosts. So he blew up the house and killed the zombie ghosts, so they were at peace. Then John Freeman heard another scream from his brother, so he kept walking really faster to get where he was. Raven Hold'em was not making time with the countryside. There was no bird singing, and the paths were dead, and the dirt was messy and bloody from head crabs. When John Freeman got to where the screaming was started, he found his brother, Gordon Freeman, fighting the final boss. And Gordon said, "John Freeman, over here!" So John Freeman went there to where
like when the
Gordon
frame rate
Freeman
gets
was
terrible.
fighting. John Freeman fired his bullets from the gun really fast, and the bullets went and shot the final boss in the eyes, and the final boss couldn't see. Gordon Freeman said, "It's time to end this once and for all," and punched the final boss in the face, and the final boss fell. John Freeman said, "Thanks, I could help, bro." And Gordon Freeman said, "You should come here earlier next time," and they laughed. The laugh overed quickly, though, because John Freeman yelled, "Look out, bro!" and pointed up to the top of the sky. Gordon Freeman looked up and said, "No!" John Freeman, "Run out of here as fast as you can!" And John walked real fast out. John looked back and saw Gordon get stepped on by the next boss, and he was mad and angry. "I'll get you back, evil boss!" John Freeman yelled at the top of lungs. To be continued.
I'm going to have to direct you to part 2 yourself. But we're happy again. It's a masterpiece. There is a part 2. There's quarter life consequences as well. So you can go check that out. I'd like to get serious for a moment, though. Because I don't want to shaft Final Fantasy IX. And I'd like to just real quick do a little something here, which is I'm going to read Epistle 3 with all the names corrected. This is what Episode 3 would have been. This was leaked by Mark Laidlaw. He changed the names. He called it Epistle 3. This is the best we've got. And even though there is, you know, on the way, an Episode 3 Project Borealis-like thing based on what it would have been, well, this is the source. So check it out. I'll read it to you. I'll do my best. Alright, dearest player, I hope this letter finds you well. I can hear you complain already. Gordon Freeman, we've not heard from you in ages. Well, if you care to hear excuses, I have plenty, the greatest of them being I've been in other dimensions and whatnot, unable to reach you by the usual means. Sorry, that's funny to me. This was the case until 18 months ago, when I experienced a critical change in my circumstances. This is it, right? This is Epistle 3? I just want to make sure I'm not reading fan fiction from someplace else. Okay, hang on. Okay, I didn't want it to go off the rails midway through. Alright. I was redeposited on these shores. In the time since, I have been able to think occasionally about how best to describe the intervening years, my years of silence. I do first apologize for the wait, and that done, hasten to finally explain, albeit briefly, quickly, and in very little detail, events following those described in my previous letter, referred to here within as Episode 2. To begin with, you may recall from the closing paragraphs of my previous missive, the death of Eli Vance shook us all. The resistance team was traumatized, unable to be sure how much our plan might have been compromised, and whether it made any sense to go on at all as we had intended. And yet, once Eli had been buried, we found the strength and courage to regroup. It was the strong belief of his brave daughter, the feisty Alex Vance, that we should continue on as her father had wished. We had the Arctic coordinates, transmitted by Eli's longtime assistant, Dr. Judith Mossman, which we believed to mark the location of the lost research vessel Borealis. Eli had felt strongly that the Borealis should be destroyed rather than allow it to fall into the hands of the Combine. Others on our team disagreed, believing that the Borealis might hold the secret to the revolution's success. Either way, the arguments were moot until we found the vessel. Therefore, immediately after the service for Dr. Vance, Alex and I boarded a helicopter and set off for the Arctic. A much larger support team, mainly militia, was to follow by separate transport. It is still unclear to me exactly what brought down our little aircraft. The following hours spent traversing the frigid waste in a blizzard were also a jumbled blur, ill-remembered and poorly defined. The next thing I can recall clearly is our final approach to the coordinates Dr. Mossman had provided, where we were expected to find the Borealis. What we found instead was a complex, fortified installation, showing all the hallmarks of sinister Combine technology. It surrounded a large open field of ice. Of the Borealis itself, there was no sign, or not at first. But as we stealthily infiltrated the Combine installation, we noticed a recurrent, strangely coherent auroral effect, as of a vast hologram fading in and out of view. This bizarre phenomenon initially seemed an effect caused by an immense Combine lensing system. Alex and I soon realized that what we were actually seeing was the research vessel Borealis itself, phasing in and out of existence at the focus of the Combine devices. The aliens had erected their compound to study and seize the ship whenever it materialized. What Dr. Mossman had provided were not coordinates for where the sub was located, but instead for where it was predicted to arrive. The vessel was oscillating in and out of our reality. Its pulses were gradually steadying, but there was no guarantee it would settle into place for long or at all. We had determined that we must put ourselves into position to board it at the instant it became completely physical. At this point, we briefly were detained, not captured by the Combine as we feared at first, but by minions of our former nemesis, the conniving and duplicitous Wallace Breen. Dr. Breen was not as we had last seen him, which is to say, he was not dead. At some point, the Combine had saved out an earlier version of his consciousness, and upon his physical demise, they had imprinted the backup personality into a biological blank resembling an enormous slug. The Breen grub, despite occupying a position of relative power in the Combine hierarchy, seemed nervous and frightened of me in particular. Wallace did not know how his previous incarnation, the original Dr. Breen, had died. He knew only that I was responsible. Therefore, the slug treated us with great caution. Still, he soon confessed, never able to keep quiet for long, that he was himself a prisoner of the Combine. He took no pleasure from his current grotesque existence and pleaded with us to end his life. Wow. Alex believed that a quick death was more than Wallace Breen deserved, but for my part, I felt a modicum of pity and compassion. Out of Alex's sight, I might have done something to hasten the slug's demise before we proceeded. Not far from where we had been detained by Dr. Breen, we found Judith Mossman being held in a Combine interrogation cell. Things were tense between Judith and Alex, as might be imagined. Alex blamed Judith for her father's death, news of which Judith was devastated to hear for the first time. Judith tried to convince Alex that she had been a double agent serving the Resistance all along, doing only what Eli had asked of her, even though she knew it meant she risked being seen by her peers, by all of us, as a traitor. I was convinced, Alex less so. But from a pragmatic point of view, we depended on Dr. Mossman. For, along with the Borealis coordinates, she possessed resonance keys which would be necessary to bring the vessel fully into our plane of existence. We skirmished with Combine soldiers protecting a Combine research post, and then Dr. Mossman attuned the Borealis to precisely the frequencies needed to bring it into brief coherence. In the short time available to us, we scrambled aboard the ship, with an unknown number of Combine agents close behind. The ship cohered for only a short time, and then its oscillations resumed. It was too late for our own military support, which arrived and joined the Combine forces in battle just as we rebounded between universes, once again unmoored. What happened next is even harder to explain. Alex Vance, Dr. Mossman, and myself sought to control of the ship, its power source, its control room, its navigation center. The ship's history proved non-linear. Years before, during the Combine invasion, various members of an earlier science team working in the hull of a dry-docked vessel situated at the Aperture Science Research Facility in Michigan had assembled what they called the bootstrap device. If it worked as intended, it would emit a field large enough to surround the ship. This field would then itself travel instantaneously to any chosen destination without having to cover the intervening space. There was no need for entry or exit portals, or any other devices. It was entirely self-contained. Unfortunately, the device had never been tested. As the Combine pushed Earth into the 7-hour war, the aliens seized control of our most important research facilities. The staff of the Borealis, with no other wish than to keep the ship out of Combine hands, acted in desperation. They switched on the field and flung the Borealis towards the most distant destination they could target. Arctica. What they did not realize was that the bootstrap device traveled in time as well as space, nor was it limited to one time or to one location. The Borealis, and the moment of its activation, were stretched across time and space between the nearly forgotten Lake Huron of the 7-hour war. Lake Huron. I thought it was a name. Lake Huron of the 7-hour war and the present-day Arctic. It was pulled taut as an elastic band, vibrating, except where at certain points along its length, one could still find its points. Like the harmonic spots along a vibrating guitar string. Still points. One of these harmonics was where we boarded, but the string ran forward and back, both time and space, and we were soon pulled in every direction ourselves. Time grew confused. Looking from the bridge, we could see the dry docks of the Aperture Science, and... Sorry, I'm reading too fast. We could see the dry docks of Aperture Science at the moment of teleportation, just as the Combine forces closed in from land, sea, and air. At the same time, we could see the Arctic wastelands, where our friends were fighting to make their way to the Protean Borealis, and, in addition, glimpses of other worlds, somewhere in the future perhaps, or even in the past. Alex grew convinced we were seeing one of the Combine's central staging areas for invading other worlds such as our own. We meanwhile fought a running battle throughout the ship pursued by Combine forces. We struggled to understand our situation and to agree on our course of action. Could we alter the course of the Borealis? Should we run it aground in the Arctic, giving our peers the chance to study it? Should we destroy it with all hands aboard, our own included? It was impossible to hold a coherent thought given the baffling and paradoxical time loops which passed through the ship like bubbles. I felt I was going mad, and we all were, confronting myriad versions of ourselves in that ship that was half ghost ship, half nightmare funhouse. What it came down to at last was a choice. Judith Mossman argued, reasonably, that we should save the Borealis and deliver it to the Resistance, that our intelligent peers might study and harness its power. But, Alex reminded me, had sworn she would honor her father's demand that we destroy the ship. She hatched a plan to set the Borealis to self-destruct while riding it into the heart of the Combine's invasion nexus. Judith and Alex argued. Judith overpowered Alex and brought the Borealis area, preparing to shut off the bootstrap device and settle the ship on the ice. Then I heard a shot and Judith fell. Alex had decided for all of us, or her weapon had. With Dr. Mossman dead, we were committed to the suicide plunge. Grimly, Alex and I armed the Borealis, creating a time-traveling missile, and steered it straight for the heart of the Combine's command center. At this point, as you will no doubt be unsurprised to hear, a certain sinister figure appeared, in the form of that sneering trickster G-Man. For once, he had appeared not to me, but to Alex Vance. Alex had not seen the cryptic schoolmaster since childhood, but she recognized him instantly. "Come along now, with me. We've places to be and things to do," said G-Man, and Alex acquiesced. She followed the strange gray man out of the Borealis and out of our reality. For me, there was no convenient door held open, only a snicker and a sideways glance. I was left alone, riding the weaponized research vessel into the heart of a Combine world. An immense light blazed. I caught a cosmic view of a brilliantly glittering Dyson sphere. The vastness of the Combine's power, the futility of our struggle, blossomed briefly in my awareness. I saw everything. Mainly, I saw how the Borealis, our most powerful weapon, would register as less than a fizzling match head as it blew itself apart. And what remained of me would be even less than that. Just then, as you surely already foreseen, the Vortigaunts parted their own checkered curtains of reality, reached in, as they have on prior occasions, plucked me out, and set me aside. I barely got to see the fireworks begin. And here we are. I spoke of my return to the shore. It has been a circuitous path to lands I once knew, and surprising to see how much the terrain has changed. Enough time has passed that few remember me or what I was saying when last I spoke, or precisely what we had hoped to accomplish. At this point, the Resistance will have failed, or succeeded, no thanks to me. Old friends have been silenced, or fallen by the wayside. I no longer know or recognize most members of the research team, though I believe the spirit of rebellion still persists. I expect you know better than I the appropriate course of action, and I leave you to it. Expect no further correspondence from me regarding these matters. This is my final episode. Yours in infinite finality, Gordon Freeman, PhD. Which, there's a little bit of a meta aspect to that at the end. So that would have been... I mean, it's not necessarily canon, because it's just a post that Laidlaw made. Who knows how much of that would have changed. But... That's what we got. It would have been cool. It would have been a very ambitious episode, though. Reading some of that, I was like, how would they have even staged it? How would it have worked in the source engine? And I can see that having provided some trouble for them. But it's still sad that we don't have anything. Also, wherever that left off, it both leaves so much room for more Gordon Freeman adventures later on, and also kind of closes some doors too. Part of me could have seen Gordon even further in the future. You know, humans having rebuilt, like this was Half-Life 3. Here would be my idea for Half-Life 3. So Gordon, you know, is brought back, and it's just a wasteland, and it's... I'm going to use the word Blade Runner again, because of course that's my favorite thing, so I'm going to use it. Picture a really Or even like Star Trek before they got to space. Before the Vulcans came down, if you know that. And it's really just like broken, even more dystopian, but they're hanging on. There's hope. I mean, they rebuilt. The Combine are maybe not there for some reason. And, you know, Gordon kind of reestablishes. And maybe then the shit goes down, whatever the shit may be. Obviously, it involves aliens. And you would imagine maybe, Alex being brainwashed by the G-Man, they would have to fight each other. And maybe at some point, you find out she's not brainwashed so much as she just understands what she has to do for the G-Man. Or who knows, there could be an ideological conflict. There could be this aspect of, a friendship that stops them from killing each other. Or maybe love. Or maybe, it would be bittersweet. Like a really well-done version of a certain other fantasy series. I don't know. Just spitballing. But... And then maybe by the end of Half-Life 3, the G-Man is like, that's unfortunate, Mr. Freeman. And then, you know, since Alex is no longer there, he hires Gordon again for more adventures later on. And the cycle continues. That's my idea of what would have been cool. I mean, I don't know. I'm just spitballing based on what I just read. But of course I'd go in the Blade Runner direction because I just like that kind of thing. But regardless, this series, Half-Life 2, Half-Life 1, Opposing Force, the expansions and all that stuff, some of my favorite games of all time, and I'm glad that people wanted me to play Half-Life 2 and its episodes. I enjoyed it. And again, Black Mesa Source, hopefully soon. And I can stream that and it'll be good. And eventually I'll stream Opposing Force again, too, because that game is fucking awesome. And until then, all we really have is our fan fictions, and we wait for Project Borealis. Vinny, there's a video someone made in Source Filmmaker showing how the ending to Epistle 3 would look like if Valve had the audacity to finish it. It's a minute long. Why don't we check it out real quick, and then I'll take a quick break, and Final Fantasy IX is up next. Back here, huh? Wait, what the hell? No, it's a neat concept, but it wouldn't have looked like this. Oh, cool. Okay, now that is what I was hoping to see. It's a video made by MMod. Alright, I mean, yeah, it's just a kind of an idea. It should have been all first person, but still, just quick little thing someone could fuck around with just to see what it would be like. Cool. Based on the fan fiction by Mark Laidlaw. Well, anyway, thank you, everybody. More Half-Life soon, and like I said, I'd eventually like to do a mod or two for Half-Life 2, some of the best single-player story mods. So, shame it has to end like this, but life doesn't always have a happy ending. Stick around, we're gonna take a quick break, and I'll be right back.